Good morning. Good morning from Melbourne, Australia. Good evening to friends in North America, and hello to anyone watching on replay. My name is Nancy Hetker, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Melbourne, Australia. And today I am going to show you a brand new product that is available today is the 2nd in July here in Australia. So it was available to everyone starting yesterday. I got it maybe about a week ago, but this has been my first chance to play with it. It's the Sunflower 3D embossing folder, and it's one of our giant ones. Just for comparison, this is our regular size one, and then we also have ones that are wider but not as long, and then this is the giant one. So 3D means that it makes a little bit deeper impressions, maybe. I don't really know how they decide what they're calling 3D or making as 3D and not. But what I found today was that is big enough that I can do two of, this is cut down one layer size for a full card front. So there's my full card front, and this is the, down a layer. Yeah, I did believe. Anyhow, that's going to look nice on there. That's what I'm trying to say. Forgive me if I'm a little out of it today. We went to a really cool presentation by Chris Hadfield last night, and he is a Canadian astronaut. He flew 3 missions into space, including living on the space station for 6 months. He's done all kinds of really impressive things, and he did a really, really nice presentation last night at one of our big performing arts facilities. And so I had a later night than I usually do. And then we topped it off by being out of coffee this morning and my sleeping in so much I didn't have time to just run around the corner to the cafe that is right here. So I'm doing this on half a cup of tea, drunk not very long ago. So I have ideas of what I want to play with these embossed pieces, embossed and debossed. So embossed is what we usually use where the pattern has been pushed up. Debossed is where it's pushed down. And we're going to do a little bit of playing with both. And we'll see how many techniques I get to today and what all we do. So I am going to start on this side. And what am I doing here? So things that I have seen people doing, especially if I could get my act together. I thought I knew what I wanted to do. I'm going to come in. I've got 3 different shades of yellow inks. This one is Lemon Lolly. That's our lightest. And then Daffodil Delight, Cajun, that's Crushed Curry. We also have this new in color, Darling Duckling, and it's kind of in between those two. I'm going to try to show you on some cardstock here. I've gone ahead and I've embossed a couple things. That's the Lemon Lolly. That's the Daffodil Delight. That's, pretty sure, that's Darling Duckling, and that's Crushed Curry. Oh, can you see all of these? These look remarkably similar, so I'm going to go pull out a little bit more just to be 100% sure. Oh, nothing. Nothing is being simple and easy. Yeah, that's what I thought. You are not. Here it is. It was hiding from me. That's Darling Duckling. Those are the differences there. So, I'm going to play with a couple of these. And like I said, I'm kind of out of it this morning, so forgive me if I'm being weirdly rambly. How am I going to play with these? That's, again, part of my thinking here. I'm going to set that one aside because I apparently need to be a little more awake on that one. Here we go. That's the Daffodil Delight. And I am going to come in with some Daffodil Delight ink and blending brush. And I'm just going to go over it tone on tone. Kind of emphasize this embossing. And I'm going to try it a couple different ways. I'm not sure if blending brush is the better way. I really am playing here to get a sense of it live with you. And I'm stopping to look and see what you can see on the camera. Because I can see that that's darkened up a bit. And I'm going to bring in a sponge dauber. Go a little more old school here. We've had these forever, but many people have kind of abandoned them for the blending brushes, but I like the smaller format. And sometimes, see, look at that, you get a different effect, and I'm liking that. Can you see that? See, I did a fair amount of okay, so let's see how much you guys can see. I'll turn it a different way too. That's the one that's been colored with the blending brush. That's the one with the sponge dauber. This has had basically nothing. And I am really liking that sponge dauber effect. And so I'm going to come in and do that on this one too. And I'm going really lightly because I can come back and do more. I don't know if you guys can hear the rain on my flat roof. We're getting some showers today. I think they're spiraling off. We're just getting a few reaches from the, there's a big big low off the coast of mostly New South Wales. They're getting clobbered. But we're getting a little bit, I think, and I think we're on like the far outward reaches of some of that. They're calling it a bomb cyclone, like you guys get in the States. But I mean, there's like flooding and evacuations up in New South Wales, and they're talking about it being over in eastern Victoria too. But here in central, I think we're just getting some showers from it. Or it's just another standard low that we get. So can you see how that has colored in? I'm just looking there. There's a little more flower petals down here. I like that because it's kind of subtle. I think I'm going to bring in where's my old olive? There we go. Close that up right now. We'll get some of the leaves here. Hit them with a little bit of old olive. Again, doesn't take much. Just to highlight them a little bit. There's a little bit of leaf right there. That's all I want to do. A little bit more right there. To help show that they exist. And then what do I have here? That's my pumpkin pie. Let's see what's on there. Well, that would be a very old Dauber that is disintegrating, but we will get just a little bit out of it here. I would guess this is one of my first sponge Daubers. It's got 2 sets of labels on it, which means it's probably at least 12 years old. I think it's lived its life. I'm not upset by that. There, just a little touch. That was pumpkin pie. And it was, I didn't even add any more ink to it. That's just what was living on my sponge dauber, just to give it a little bit of color in the center there. So, get rid of disintegrating sponge. So how would I make that into a card? Let's see here. Last thing I want to do is dump my entire box of daubers. just cutting the card base over here because I don't think I want it on white. Yes, Sarah, thank you for your service. Rest in peace. So I'm bringing in some of these sentiments I've got in my stash. Still thinking, still playing. I've got some that are already cut out, but I'm not sure. Still thinking. I'm gonna cut out that one. I will be right back. These butterflies I made for a project and wound up not using them. I went a totally different route, which I may also be doing here. Just waiting for my video to catch up so I can see it. Kind of like it better without. So I'm gonna throw my glue around. I'm putting some where there's big parts that are gonna, I know are gonna stick. And then I'm gonna go around and fill in. You can see that it's pretty warped. So I'm doing a good amount of glue. And that lets me slip it into place. Man, I didn't think my brain was this foggy. That just goes to show you. Okay, and for a moment here, I'm going to bring in get it out here. This monster block, which I find really unwieldy to stamp with, but is really good for things like this. So we're going to give that a moment. Yeah, and the thing is, it's just being out of routine. It's not even that I didn't get enough sleep. Yeah, mounting it on the olive might have been a better move, Mom. But I'll make another one sometime. But see, the glue and the moment under the block, it's now stuck down nicely. So I'm happy with that. I still think I'm going to put this here. And I think these are retired. Are they too much? Okay. A few dimensionals. I'm going to go for these because why not? There we go. There's that one. I'm actually not unhappy with that. So, moving on. I'm going to bring in my other piece. This is also the Daffodil Delight, just a reminder of how it starts and how we did that one with the daubers. Now this one I've seen done, and you're literally doing tone on tone, and they're just smearing the ink on it. We may not make full cards out of all of these, but I just wanted to show you some of the techniques. That is quick and easy and pretty dramatic. And you can go back over it if you want to. This is Daffodil Delight ink on Daffodil Delight cardstock. like I said, I just wanted to show you at least one of those. I think I like it better that way. And what was the next one I was going to do? I was going to show you one. This is Peach Pie cardstock. And I was going to try, what was I thinking of doing with this one? I think I was going to do a different color. I'm going to use Memento. And for this one, I'm using the original Memento pad because the same thing that makes it not so great for stamping all the time, its firmness and not squishiness kind of makes it nice for this technique. So you can see I'm doing it in some circles. I'm kind of using it like a sponge dauber actually, but because it's bigger, you get more coverage and you can and because it's got the exposed corners, it's not set down in the pad. You can get in there and do things. Yeah, I don't know if that's my favorite or not, but that's fun to play with and figure out if you like it or not. I could see some things that might be nice for, maybe. Anyway, there's that one and that one. That's tone on tone, and that's obviously black on Peach Pie. And this is Lemon Lolly, so it's our lightest cardstock, or lightest yellow cardstock. What did I want to do? I think I wanted to come in and do a lot like this, but see how these colors showed up on the lighter color. Well, that's what I want to do now, so let's try it. I'm going to start with, where's that dying pumpkin? Let me see about getting a new one. There's a new one. There we go. That may be about all we need. So this is using Daffodil Delight ink on the Lemon Lolly cardstock. So you get more contrast between the inked and uninked parts, but staying with the yellow background. This one's starting to die too, I can see, but that's okay. We'll get through here. Again, that's got 2 labels on it, so I know it's quite old. Okay, and the rest of it is leaves, so we will bring in, should we do Old Olive or Granny Apple Green? Let's stick with the Old Olive. I think that's more yellow down here. Go. I don't know, does it look a little bit like batik when we do this? I think we'll just call all that yellow. There we go. So, my craft room is a total disaster at the moment. About 8 different projects going on, including getting rid of retired product just before Gwen and I leave the country. Literally 3 days before we leave the country, I'm taking part in a local craft de-stash market. Good call, Mom, as always. So I will mount that one on there. So I'm busy sorting and packaging and pricing items for that, along with all my regular projects and chores I would be doing for July. And I'm prepping stuff to be able to post while I'm traveling. And of course, I'm making plans for that travel. I'm very excited. Did I tell you guys? Glenn has a conference in Denmark and I'm going along. I'm going to spend time in Copenhagen and Aarhus. I think I did tell you this. And then on the way back, we are spending a couple days in Singapore. Because then I will come home and then he will actually go on and teach for a week in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. And I'll probably finish this up. I may finish this up off camera and do another set of these or another sentiment. This one I don't mind. That's in Secret C, but this one I don't think I want in Secret C. So I'll do another one, or I'll leave it plain. Something like that. That one I think I'll do regular. Rhinestones. Since this is a little brighter. So I'm excited. I like to travel. I like to see new things. I've always wanted to go. Well, I'd like to do more in Scandinavia than just one country, but I'll take what I can get for now. And there are those two. And I have a couple more techniques that I wanted to pull in. On the white. One of them I'm going to save because it's a longer technique. Yeah, actually, I think maybe I'm going to call it quits there. So these are the two cards I made. I like them both, but I think I like, well, I don't know. I like them both. This one, I think you were right, Mom. I think it would have been a better overall if it were mounted on the old olive. But it's not a bad card. When it's just on its own, I think it's fine. And this one, I'll figure out something to finish it off here. And then I showed you, again, swiping with the ink pads, either tone on tone or contrasting on there. And this one, I think very, very much would be more in the background. You know, like if I had several more of those would come out and be more of a focal, and they would be kind of, oh yeah, they're going to these flowers in the back. And Gladys, nice to see you. I hope you do come back. Yeah, I mean, obviously these are the wrong colors, but anyway, I'll play with that. I'll show you at some point what I did with it. If you looked at my blog yesterday and today, you will see that some pieces we did together a year ago and sat in my to be used up box on my desk finally got used in cards this week. So go check that out. And speaking of which, my blog is here at nancysniftynotes.com. The next blog post I make will be showing these projects. If you have any questions or would like to order or need help finding a demonstrator wherever you live, let me know at nancysniftynotes.com. And I will be back same time, same place next week with something else to show you. Thanks for joining me today. Bye-bye.